Welcome to the Commander Smiths.
We are the Commander Smiths.
I'm Adam Smith.
I'm Lowry Smith.
Don't worry.
Cousins.
This is episode 327, and Power 9 has done well, so we're continuing.
Why not? Why not?
I mean, if you go back to the beginning of when we like the first year, what was it? It was core cards for Commander. Yeah, we did core cards for that. Yeah, but it was you
just
doing
smaller, much smaller. We were doing like 40 cards at that point.
That's right.
They were 2-hour podcasts of just straight cards, lists.
You couldn't see it because it was all audio and not visual. It was just.
Yep. We started out good. We knew what we were doing.
So many cards.
Oh boy!
But then we went through everything. It was every color. It was every multicolor.
Basically, we're gonna do Power 9 until you wish for Secret Layers to come back more often.
Right.
That is what we're doing. That's what we're doing.
And Tad, I'm gonna give you this, and this is the Lowry one.
Get the fuck out.
Yeah, Urza's for life, and I was surprised. I'm not gonna lie. This list is you agreed to one thing that I wasn't. I didn't know you would, but
that's true.
That's
true. I mean, I was able to get rid of the one that I thought should not be on the list, even though everybody else is going to disagree with me. I felt like I shouldn't be fighting the other one. And so, yeah, Power 9 lands today. We're doing that. We will discuss on what Power 9 is, because last week's comments on YouTube seem to not know what Power 9 actually is.
We had a lot of that.
And I was surprised by that, but maybe we're just the Power 9 episodes. Yes. Yes, please.
So, yeah, should we get right into this? We've been doing this change up of
yeah, I mean, and then we got Stump the Smith Savant later on, and we have a foil proxy.
Oh yeah, it's
that's for whoever, and this is
Anointed Procession done by my youngest. So 2 kitties there and the 2 puppies there, and then I've been designing this whole thing.
And who is it tonight?
It is Cole, Mr. Cole.
There we go.
Yeah, so Cole's gonna try to stump you. It is our new week because you did get stumped last week. So.
What are you drinking tonight?
Oh, I'm back to my Founders one, Breakfast Stout. I like this one. It is an 8.3% alcohol. So we just a little FYI last week, and I want to hear what you're drinking here in a second, but last week the cast ended. Lowry and I, it didn't end for us. We were up until 1 a.m. just drunk talking because of the stupid 3 Malorts, which, by the way, if you want it, we've changed it back to the Malorts.
True.
$15 for now until Lowry gets done with all his beers. How's your gout doing with drinking the beers and the Malorts?
It's doing all right.
All right,
it's doing all right.
So what are you drinking to help with that gout stuff there?
Right now, I'm drinking a black cold press from Bent Paddle out of Duluth. And then I got a Tall Boy Arrogant Bastard. That's going to be a lot to drink. Normally, I'm okay with like a 12-ouncer. And then probably at the end, I have a Dragon's Milk Bourbon Barrel Aged Stout.
Look at all
those 2 are
for
gifts
life.
for my birthday that I'm still milking.
I got RoboCop. I got Rent. Oh, then you get Bill from Woodbury.
Get the fuck out!
Thank you, Bill.
Yeah, get out of here. So
Bill's a true friend of the cast. I gotta say. Everybody else.
Last week was interesting with the 3 Malorts and beer and stuff. So I have this drink going. If we get to Stump the Smith Savant and we don't get a Malort Shot, then I will pop over to my 10% alcohol. That's kind of where I'm going there. So I have backups of non-alcoholic stuff so that I don't feel so shitty if we got a 3 Malort night again. I'm not counting on that. Just that I know it was a birthday thing last week and all that. So why don't we get to this? We'll do our shout outs. We have a new patron that we also want to give a shout out to. Do we want to do that right now?
Let's do it right now.
All right.
Let's do this. It's exciting whenever we have a new person to the meat force.
All right. So we have one new patron, Thomas Sayers.
Welcome to a meat forest.
That sounds like a fairy tale of a meat forest.
And if I'm remembering this correctly, he's a patron from Down From Under. I think he was from Australia. Is it actually?
I think he kind of said it weird, but
Down Under, Down From Under. Yeah, I did say it. Down From Under. What the hell am I talking about?
That's yeah.
But this one was he actually bought a mystery booster box off of me, and it took like a month to get to him, but he got it, and then got
cool.
our business card stuff, our proxy
Glad
stuff,
he got
and all
it.
that. And then became a patron. So thank you so much. That supports us more than you know. We'll get to that later when we talk about the tags and all that stuff. So, all right, let's discuss this. Let me jump over to a card preview so we can kind of get to things here. So, Power 9. We're going to do Power 9 again. And this time we're doing lands. But what is the difference here? We're not talking Power 9 as in deck power level. It's not power level 9. It's Power 9. So, what is the Power 9, Lowry?
Power 9, the idea originates from essentially Vintage, and you're talking about the most powerful cards that were in the game, and that's Ancestral Vision, Black Lotus, all the Moxes, original, and that's kind of where the term comes from, and it's a Vintage term. And we're kind of just bringing it over, like a lot of those cards can't be played in all of them. Most of them can't be played in Legacy, and they're banned basically everywhere else other than a couple also in Commander. And so we're just kind of taking the idea.
In Commander except for one. There's only one card that you can play.
They're banned everywhere except for the I forgot it again.
Legacy or Vintage?
Legacy. They're all okay in Vintage, but Legacy has the same thing unbanned as the Commander one does, and that's Time Twister. There we go.
Oh, you were thinking. Okay, you were saying the last. Okay, gotcha.
Yeah, I just couldn't remember. I did that, the first time we did.
Yeah, when we.
I was like, I don't remember which one it is because I don't get to see them very often. They're super rare, and so there's a bit of prestige to it. There's a power level to it. There's a money level to it. There is, and that's the whole thing. When we're talking about it, we're taking kind of a whole package. And this time, even though it's not, our original one was Power 9 for Commander, and that was kind of like a more condensed list of everything. And not everybody agreed with us, and that's perfectly fine.
It's fine.
You start your own podcast, whatever. And this is going to be a little bit more specific, and we are going to talk about lands this time when it comes to, and there will be overlap because
it was part of
leave
them off. Can I add one more thing with it? Is there's also a thing with Power 9 is it's almost like an achievement to have these cards.
True.
So there are some things that people are like, oh well, this should be on the Power 9 list. The thing is like if it's a card that everybody has, and it's a powerful card, but everybody has it, there isn't like an achievement unlocked when you get that. There's a thing when you get that's the thing about the Power 9. Like there's the packs to power, and that's where we came up with dollars to duels is the Commander's way of doing it. That we came up with that idea because that's like there's an achievement unlocked when you get those. When you get a duel, I mean that's what people get it in the Discord. They posted on the Discord. Boom, got my first duel, got my second duel, third, fourth. That's a huge thing. So that being said, what's on our list is probably.
And I think the original one too that I had forgotten last week whenever we did Power 9. But basically, it's when you play this card, if people are going, oh, this is the game that we're playing, or this is the deck that you're playing, and then it kind of can turn heads. It does not mean that all of these do that, but that's another criteria that we bring into
factor,
it. As in, like, oh, you got money, or you got power, or you got respect. I don't know.
Right. I like the respect part. Like there's a thing of that being like, oh shit, okay, you got that. All right, sweet. So okay. So that being said, should we just start off with the card that we just kind of talked about? So let's just. Is there anything else we want to talk about the Power 9 stuff?
No, I think that's it. And so if you think this is about power levels and you keep on commenting, we're going to block you.
Not necessarily
one specific person, not
one
just
person.
a general. Just one specific person.
If you're very aggressive towards other people and basically name calling and stuff, like get ready, you're not gonna be able to see shit anymore.
You're on a short list of one, mister.
So that was my big thing. I didn't care that you could talk shit to us and say that we're dumb and we're ruining the game. but when you start going down other people's throats for their opinions, no, it's not cool. So let's not be d-bags. Anyways, all right, we do want to hear your guys'. Like, if you think that our list, I would take this off. I think you guys are silly with it.
Absolutely.
That's not what we're saying. It's more of when people are like aggressively. Go back and look at the comments. There's some people that are very.
So
attacked.
please, if you feel like we missed something, write it in the comments. And if you disagree with what we're saying, for sure, I'm more than willing to have that conversation in the comments as well.
Yeah. So, all right. So that being said, let's just start it off with the main guy. We'll do Underground Sea because we're going to talk about.
Oh.
Yeah, that's.
I thought you were going to do something else.
Well, no, because that'll be later. Do you think I'll do that one or you do that one?
No, you better do it. I don't want to do it.
I almost want you. I want to leave it for you to do because I like to use the OG one, not
All
OG,
right.
the white
So
border.
what do you mean Underground Sea? We're talking duels.
Yep.
This was on the original Power 9 list that we had a few weeks ago, and it's here. This hits almost all of the criteria that we're talking about.
Yeah.
It's this kind of game. You drop some money, reserve list. It's hard to get. Like, you're proxying it if you have it. You're proxying it if you don't. If you're just allowed to proxy, you're playing duels.
Yeah. Yep.
Right?
That's it. Yeah. I mean, this is the ultimate. This is the goal I was saying. That in the Discord, Urza Saga is not for losers, Cole. You'll see. Get the fuck. Oh, I gotta get back to that. There's gonna be a lot of that.
Get the fuck out!
But yeah, the duels, like I think Cole, when he started getting his duels, he started posting that on the Discord. Anybody, Wrenchai's got duels. It's a big achievement. This is probably one of the biggest achievements to unlock when you're talking about commander players. Like when you get all 10 of them, God, that's a great feeling. Like it really, and it doesn't. We've talked about duels before. It doesn't make it so that your decks are OP. It just makes them flow better. And then when you proxy them out, it's just they're all good to have. So if you get a chance, there is no downside to the dual land. So, all right. So that being said, should we do the other one that we talked about in the Power 9 or just kind of mix that around a little bit?
Sure. Well, we have 3.
You're right. Are you right? What's the other one? Oh, no, we didn't talk about. We only talked about 2 of them, didn't we? We popped off the other one. We took it off. It was on our original Power 9, and then the second time we did it, we took it off. If we're thinking of the same card. Like, should we do like clues?
Guy's Cradle?
Well, that's the second one. Yeah. Well, let's just get that.
Oh,
off.
Fetches didn't make the Power 9 last time?
We didn't put them in, remember?
Oh, what did we do?
You were the one that took them off. You said it doesn't have that feel.
I disagree with us from a month ago. All right.
You were the one that took it off. I actually had it on my list, and you had it on your list too. But then you were like, it just doesn't have that feel of everything else that's on our list. So.
But for land specifically, it does. But we're gonna go Guy's Cradle.
Yeah.
Again, I think this almost has more of a oh shit feeling, like turning the game. Yeah. The Keldon Warlord proxy version of it is sublime. Thank you for that work, Adam. Bitter.
Yeah.
And I mean, it just adds so much mana, and it's incredibly expensive. It is hard to get.
Unless you have a Keldon Warlord and you trade it to Lowry when you're a kid. I know people that are the longtime listeners know what we're talking about.
Right.
This used to get brought up every single episode in our first year. Pretty
Right.
much. We haven't done that much lately, but it's happening.
But now that once I got my own Guy's Cradle,
then you didn't ever play it.
Eventually, if it was like one of the only like, oh shit, I got it. That doesn't happen often for me because I don't have proper dopamine receptors. But
I thought you were gonna say because you just have everything. Oh, good for you.
But
yeah.
Kinda.
Oh yes, yes. Oh, good for you.
So, but this card, if one person in your play group has it, basically everybody's hating on them until they take it out of their decks.
Right.
As you should.
Yeah. I mean, yeah. I put it in decks, but not as many as I used to. It has to actually be like lots of creatures, or I'm lacking something or whatever. But it is a great card. I would also say, and it's not on our list, but another similar feel is Sarah's Sanctum in this. for your enchantment decks. So, and this is, they had the cycle of these. Tellurian Academy got banned, so we can't play with that one. But really the two good ones is Gaia's Cradle and Sarah's Sanctum, but we're just sticking with Gaia's Cradle in this one. Okay, so that is the second one. Lowry, do you want to hit the third one since that's your baby there, since you just kind of mentioned it?
Fetches.
Yeah, there we go.
Let's go with Arid Mesa.
Oh, Arid. All right.
Opposite.
Arid Mesa.
Fetches are such a power bump when it comes to just the game, the deck that you're building. It improves what's going on dramatically, even though everybody's going, oh, deck thinning doesn't do much. But if your games are fast, agreed. If they're slow, drawing less lands at the end of the game is really important. It sucks to kind of draw too many lands at the end of the game. It feels like it's hopeless a little bit. And so the one life is negligible. There's plenty of dual lands out there that you can fetch at this point.
Well, we had the episode a few months ago talking about our Surveil lands popping up there as one of the better ones to fetch. I think, in my opinion, it still is the case because I've had games since then. Early game, if I know I'm not doing anything, and I most likely have a fetch in my hand when I start the game, I'm either going for a Surveil land. A Surveil land or a Triumph if it's that 3-4 color 5 color deck. It depends, but more often than not, if I'm not playing anything turn one, I'm going for a Surveil land. It's like half drawing a card in a way, or fill in my graveyard if I want. So the more and more fetchable dual lands or fetchable good lands that we get, these just get better and better and better. And like you said, yes, it's negligible removing those from removing cards from your deck, but it does matter. I mean, you are taking cards away and you're fixing your mana base. So that's another thing, is if you don't have the OG duels, this can help you with that as well. You can go fetch things for your decks and make them flow a lot better. Don't play tap lands unless they are dual lands. And
it's still, this is, a lot of people will go like, for the price wise, Terramorphic Expanse is just better. Like you're talking about 10 cents, it comes in every pre-con versus $20 on this. But again, having a land come into play untapped versus tapped, if you're only getting basics, again, it's you don't have to get them all at once. It's a process if it needs to be. And if you're new to the game and you're flush with cash, these should be some of the first cards you buy.
Yeah,
in my opinion, that is this. And again, we've had this conversation. If we're just talking about lands, best lands in the game, fetches. And also, if we're this is top 2 for me. I don't know.
They're up there.
How I feel about this or top. If I had to choose between those two, between top or fetches, I'd probably just go fetches. Best cards in the game. Commander.
They moved way up there for me, especially Surveil lands really popped it up there for me as the things that made these. Not that they weren't good before, but now I really love Surveil lands, and these are so good with that.
Renchai is saying that it should be more for mana fixing and not deck thinning. Agreed.
Yes.
I was more just saying, even though that's a negligible part, the whole package of what fetches do. When you're talking about like
if you're using your top and you have the 3 and you don't like any of those 3 cards, fetches help you get rid of that, get you cycled through because you're shuffling through your deck.
Shuffle effects are really good. Deck thinning is really good. The fixing aspect is really good. It's like having more lands, but then not having as many lands again later on in the game. It creates better selection. It's basically everything that you want in a land, other than you win the game type thing. It's not Maze's End by any means, but come on. They're good. Fantastic.
I would also say, just financially wise, now is the time to get the enemy ones, because MH3 is coming out, and these are pretty much at the lowest they've been. I mean, they have been for the last 6 months, but they're starting to creep up. They're going to go up as soon as MH3 comes out. These MH2 ones are going to go up. The enemy ones and the allied ones will drop. So wait on the allied ones because they're going to tank. So now is the time to get them. Like, this is the best 6 months to buy fetches, because you're finally getting them at a reasonable price, whereas they've been $30, $40, $50 for the longest time, and now you're finally going to be able to get all these. So if you don't have them at this point, make sure you have at least one so you can proxy, get all 10 of them, and you can proxy the rest, put them in every single deck. So the cool thing is people that are probably newer to Commander is fetches don't have to be in the colors. So you can play Arid Mesa in a black and red deck. You can play it in a black and white deck. Like, you don't have to have the colors.
They are colorless in color identity as well, like you're saying. Some people really don't like that aspect. So be conscious of what your play group is doing for sure. But yeah, you could put this in a mono red deck.
Yeah.
For all I care. There's a couple of just like mountains that are not just basic.
Yeah.
As well. Not a lot. Nothing I want to go get. Yeah. But you can.
Right.
If you want to.
Okay, so all right, so we got fetches out of the way, we got Gaia's Cradle out of the way, we got duels out of the way.
So who's the real first pick?
Who's the real favorite? I think you are, because I did last
Me?
week. Yep.
All right, I'm gonna go with Ancient Tomb.
All right.
It produces 2 colorless mana, and it deals you 2 damage whenever you tap it. Well, really, okay, I'll say it. Tap, add 2 colorless mana for 1 land, and it deals 2 damage to you. Number one, this is fantastic. It's ramp, not fixing in that regard, but this is some really good fast mana. It's what does it say there? $90 card right now.
Yeah. Yep, that's the cheapest because everything else is world champion stuff. So yep, $90.
And so what you're talking about is, it's a card that's been reprinted a couple times, and it rebounds. It's in high demand. It's crazy good in 1 and 2 color decks. You have plenty of stuff out there like the new Rowan, or there's the mono white guy that likes to get damage. Like when you're dealing your self damage, it's great in that kind of theme. But just being able to on turn 2, it's just the land drop that gets you 2 mana. It's crazy good.
Right. I mean, you have your Temple of the False God, but you have that stipulation of you have to have 5 land and stuff. The only stipulation that this has is the 2 damage to you. So it's not that big of a deal. Like you take the 2 damage in Commander and don't have the hoop that you have to jump through with Temple of the False God. So and the other part of it is, if you have a different way of tapping this land, you aren't going to get the damage. It's not like City of Brass, whenever it becomes tapped, you take damage. This is when you use this ability of tapping the 2, you take the 2 damage. If you have something else that
Chromatic Lantern will get you, or a Urborg Tomb, or hashtag Team Forest Swamp. You have a Maya Cradle of Growth. Just tap it for a forest.
Get the fuck out!
All right. Well, I might as well not have you do it. I'm very tempted to have you
Appreciate it.
So the next on our list would be, and these are in no particular order, and Lowry's gonna love this one.
Get the fuck
out. Urza's Saga is on the list. This sucker has not dropped below 30. It's at 30 now. Probably go up because it is not going into Modern Horizons 3. It's so basically everybody knows what it does, but I will, for those people that don't, it's a enchantment land, so it actually fits in your get out of here. You're such a douche.
I mean, you're reading a novel here. What do you want me to do? You go and read me to sleep.
I put this in nearly every deck. As long as I have 3 things that are 1 or less artifacts in my deck. So Urza Saga comes in, you can tap it for a colorless. It gains the next ability. So it has the sagas, but it gains it and keeps the other part. So you can still tap it for mana for all 3 turns. The second part is you can create a construct by tapping 2 and tapping it. It gets 1+1 for each artifact you control. And then the last thing is you sacrifice it, search your library for an artifact with mana value 0 or 1, and then put it on the battlefield and shuffle. This just gets used a crap ton. Oh, I forgot to mention, fetches are in over 400,000 EDH rec decks. Duels are, because of the price tag, they're in 140,000 plus EDH rec decks. Gaia's Cradle's in 102. And Urza's is in 281,000 EDH rec decks. So these are high numbers for these lands, and they can pretty much go in any deck. Have you put this in a deck to this point.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
I
Do I
love
have it
it.
in one currently? No, I don't think so.
Okay.
I do. I might have it in 2. Like if it's in artifact themed decks, I think it's in a Layla, and I have it in Madison Lee.
Okay.
Dr. Madison Lee.
So
So 2 artifact themed decks, and I think I had an Oscar for a bit as well.
So with how I use this is, if I have a Soul Ring, which I always do, if I have a top, which I haven't been using as much lately, but I do use it still quite a bit, and Shadow Spear, normally the 3 that I get, if those 3 are in there, or there's 3 others, you know, you can have Monocrypt in there, you can have other 1-drop rocks in there, and now we have the other equipment with protection, the spur boots or whatever from OTJ.
Lava spur boots.
Yep.
Yeah.
So you have more targets the more and more we get there. So if you have at least 3, then I think this one is a good one to have in there. If you only have Soul Ring in your deck, that's your only 1 or 0 drop artifact, I wouldn't put this in there because you're going to lose a land. That's your biggest gripe with this, is you're losing a land, and you're going to get that. That's my argument, is I'm going to get a Soul Ring, so I'm actually getting more land. It can be destroyed easier because it's an artifact compared to a land, but if you have more options, I like that. If I already have my Soul Ring, or maybe I'm getting screwed with mana and I need to draw something else, I go get myself top, or I need to be able to target something, I'll get my Shadow Spear. You know, this gives you options to help you in any situation in the game. So it's a good card. That's why it's staying where it's at. All right.
I accept that people like it. Get the fuck out.
There you go. All right, Lowry. Got Urza Saga out of the way. Now you can
all right,
pick freely.
let's go with Nykthos Shrine to Nyx. Now this is probably replacing the card that everybody wants, but let's go over Nykthos here. Legendary land, taps for a colorless, then you can pay 2, tap it, choose a color, add that amount of mana equal to the number of pips that you have in play permanent wise. And so if you have something like 6 black pips, so among your permanents, you get 6 mana out of the 3 that you spent. I like this card a lot. It's great with untapping lands. And again, it's probably the appropriate level when it comes, like, compared to Cradle. Cradle's just crazy, right? And this is appropriate. Like, it's okay at the beginning, but once you start building a board state, you start, later game, it becomes more and more powerful. And that's where I like it, but it's a $35 card right now. It's old enough to, you're not seeing a whole ton. Goes great in 1 and 2 color decks again, but also that it can go in all the different kinds of colors.
Yeah.
It's not just specifically for one color, it's not just a green deck. This can go in anything.
And that's
that
why
you feel appropriate.
The card that you're referring to is Cabal Coffers, where it's just sticking in black decks, pretty much. Maybe black in another color, or if you have Urborg or whatever in the deck. So this just fits. It hits a lot more decks. And because it does that, I think it has the potential of being just crazy. Whenever I get this out, it typically is doing a lot. Because it's normally in 1 to 2 color decks. You're not playing it in 3 or 4, I would think.
Right.
But yeah, this does a lot of work whenever you play this card. So it very
did you rip Coffers at all?
I just said it. I said Cabal.
You did it? Okay.
In reference to, this is the Cabal Coffers. What's the issue you were having with Cabal Coffers, if you wanted to run through that at all? It's just, it's stuck to black, because you're almost having to play mono black, or at most 2 colors for sure. I mean, we're saying the same thing with Nykthos.
My problem is it doesn't tap for
itself. Yes, this
colorless?
gives you 1 colorless. Yeah,
right. And so it feels way too many times, unless you're tutoring, which we don't do. Like, granted, so I feel like it's not the same thing for other people, but I still don't like it. So we don't tutor. But if you don't have Urborg, Coffers isn't good. I've seen it do crazy good things, but it's either kind of a bad card or really, really good. Super swingy. and my comparison, and you've already said the card, but Temple of the False God is what it feels like to me. If I'm not tutoring for Urborg, and I would say for me, Urborg is the more important card in the deck because oftentimes you have more synergies with Urborg.
Right.
So, and so I like that better.
Right.
I'd pick Urborg over Coffers, but I understand that people would want Coffers over Nykthos, and this is the battle that I won. So like Nykthos is here because of me. I understand
because
that.
of me.
Because of me. So
no, I totally agree. I only have Coffers in, I think, my Braids deck, and that's it. And Nykthos is in quite a few decks. I play a lot of 2-color decks. That's my go-to is 2. Your go-to is 3. So I end up playing this quite a bit and on a lot of decks. So, all right. So Nykthos, and oh, by the way, that's in 232,000 EDH rec decks. Cabal Coffers, though, 238. But that, I mean, just saying. Just throwing it out there.
That's all right. That's a lot of mono black decks. It goes in every mono black deck, maybe.
Yep. All right. So we got that out of the way. I kind of want to hit up Boseiju. Let's get Boseiju out of the way.
Nice.
So Boseiju, here we go. Who endures? So I would say the cycle's pretty good. Blue is Otawara is also up on this level, but Boseiju is just, it's the best one. If
it's
Otawara
such a good card
was 2 for its channel, then maybe they'd be at the same level, but you're basically paying 1 green every time to do this, and it comes in. There's no downside. It's a green mana, so this takes up one of your basic land slots, and it's your enchantment, artifact, non-basic land removal on a stick. So it's just it's perfect. This is just a great card.
And it also can't be like counterspelled because this is an ability rather than a spell. You can get it back with Life from the Loam. There's a lot of synergies there that can be done with just being able to repeat on that, or some type of searching hate that you could be doing. But Boseiju is crazy good. Expensive. What is that at?
$30 for the very minimum price of it. Yep.
That's it's a very, very powerful card.
And a rare for $30, it's pretty good for a set that came out
something
2 years ago.
Yeah.
Yeah. So this is right up there. So
3 at this point? I think it's 3.
Was it? Last year was March of the Machine.
But that was a year ago.
Yep. No, I was gonna say last year, and then when it be, wasn't it Kamigawa? Was the second year? 2 years ago? Feels like it's 2 years. What would be the last? Theros was 3, wasn't it? Theros was 3 because that's when I was in this house. Am I right? I go by my seasons of like when I was like, I was opening when there was snow on the ground and blah blah blah. But yeah, I think
it doesn't matter.
Yeah,
it doesn't matter. Does it? It probably has a year at the bottom.
Oh,
there.
You're right. Hang on. 2022. So yeah, 2 years ago.
Right.
Yeah.
Just like you said. It was. Yeah.
All right. Yeah. So what is the next one you want to pick on the list? We only have a couple more left, I think. We
have 2 left basically. I'm going to go with Field of the Dead.
Oh, you went with that.
This one comes into play tap, but it can produce a colorless. But essentially, if you have it in play and 7 or more different named lands, you get to create a 2/2 whenever a land comes into play. And when it comes to just creating tokens and some of the bullshit that you could be doing, just a fetch getting you 2/2s is really good.
Yeah.
Like that is just really good. And then when you start considering stuff where you can get like Splendid Reclamation, bringing all your lands back from the graveyard into play and just pop, create an army that way. You got a lot of things that allow you to put a lot of lands into play. This is crazy in a landfall deck, and there's plenty of those. Right?
I feel like every time I've seen this played, which isn't very often. I think Ramsey did it recently when we played in person. The degenerate things happen, because I've never played with it. Like I actually didn't own it until recently, until the Secret Lair. So I haven't even proxied this one or anything yet. But every time I've seen somebody play this, it typically goes off. Like the 2/2 zombies, there's a reason you're putting it in the deck. There's a big reason why you're playing this, and it's to overrun somebody with a bunch of 2/2 zombies by playing lands. And if you're playing lands, you're getting ramp synergy stuff, and there's just silly stuff that happens, and it's just a good card. And it can go in every deck.
card as well. Was banned in standard when it was there.
It's banned in modern, Pioneer, Brawl, Historic, and
Nobody.
Yeah, and I was like, Explorer.
How many decks has it been in?
Let's see, fielded 139,000 EDH decks.
How many of those are Golos decks? That was also banned. But like when I had my Golos deck, Field of the Dead was in there. Field of the Dead is in Mina and Den. No.
But you're right. Every landfall deck, this is in there.
Anything that cares about lands. What is it? There's the Ashaya that turns all your creatures into forests. They all have different names.
Oh, yeah.
Just god damn it.
Yeah.
That's it does point. Disgusting things.
That's a very good point.
It's yeah.
All right. So the last one on the list is, where is it? Oh, it was originally on our original Power 9 list back in the day when we did it like 4 years ago. I want to pick the right one. Oh, actually, I wanted to do the Lord of the Rings one. We're going to do Cavern of Souls. I used to play this a lot more than I do now. It will only go into, what are we calling it now? It's Kindred or Tribal Kindred decks. Do they do they say that on this? No, they don't. That's not. Whatever. So Cavern of Souls basically is protecting your stuff. We don't have a lot of counterspell people in our group. There's a couple of them, so this hasn't been as needed as it once was. But it enters the battlefield. You choose a creature type. You get at the very least 1 colorless mana, but then you can tap any color mana to spend on creature spells of that chosen type, and it can't be countered. So it's just, if your degenerate play group counters a lot of shit, this is a good way to protect
It's a great way to get
stuff.
your commander down.
Yep. And your cheapest version is $40. So this is way up there in price. Cavern is in 53,000 EDH rec decks. So this gets played a shit ton as well. So
been around for over a decade at this point.
Yeah.
Been reprinted enough, but
it was in our discussion for the updated Power 9. It was in the honorable mentions, but we took it off this time because we had a bunch of other things. We didn't honorable mention it, but you know what I'm saying? It was on the list.
Yeah, I know what you're saying, but
you gave me
it was one of them that you won last time, and I was like, nah, because I don't play with it. It's if they have the counterspell, they got it. But again, we don't play a lot of counterspells in our crew, so
I think that's why I've been lacking playing with it, unless it's like, hey, I'm playing a zombie deck or a spirit deck, like, okay,
that makes a ton of sense,
like, but if you're just trying to protect your commander, which is what I used to do, it was like, I only have this as the one, this creature type, I want to make sure that it doesn't get countered when I play it, because that sucks. Well, we just don't have as many people countering stuff anymore, so it doesn't go in as many decks. But if you do, like I said, if you have a group that does counter a lot of stuff and you like to play tribes, kindred stuff, this is a great card to have in those decks. So it's expensive, so proxy it. Get it, proxy it, so you can put it in every deck that you want. So, all right, so that's our Power 9 stuff.
Right there. Bada bing, bada boom.
People that are watching, listening, whatever.
Oh, one that Bill pointed out and at the beginning, and I agree with him. We probably should have put this in there, but Strip Mine. It destroys any land. It's so damn good.
It's such a dick card. It's such a dick card.
Well,
do you?
This isn't that list.
I know.
This is the Power 9, and it.
I know.
To me, that should be on here, and I'd probably cut Cavern of Souls.
Oh, get the fuck out!
Get the fuck out!
No, I don't know what it is yet. It's something that we didn't discuss, but I agree it should have probably been on the list.
Oh, fuck. It's anthologies. So you have your Pro Tour ones are 8. I don't count the gold borders. So anthologies is your cheapest, and that's a $20 card. So yeah, it's up there in price.
It's been banned in a lot of stuff.
Because it's actually only says it's only banned in Legacy.
Right.
It's just not legal in everything else. So it's restricted in Vintage, and then legal in Commander and Oathbreaker are the only places that this guy is there. Because it's you get this with playing extra land per turn and
Crucible of Worlds,
and then you're
a little bit of fast spawn action and Vintage. Why not? They have so many mana rocks anyway.
Right.
But I think that could easily be on this list, and I apologize to any land destruction aficionados out there.
So if there's anything else that you guys think should be on this list that maybe takes them off, adds them in.
Right. Don't put coffers down. You won't win on that one.
Yeah. Well, please put that in the comments below. We want to hear what your guys' thoughts are. Maybe we missed some, like Strip Mine, like Larry mentioned here. And then also, if you're watching this right now, please give this a like. This helps us out more than you know. Counteracts the serial thumbs downers. We got 3 of them. Now we have 3. It was 2. We gained a third one after the last one.
We gained a third one? Great.
You know who you are.
Great.
We know who you are.
I don't.
All right. Should we get to just our tag stuff? I'm going to get out of...
Yeah. We can
just get back to our main screen. Okay. I don't know. Do we want to do tags, or how was your weekend? I guess this is what we could do. This is weird to do it in the middle after I've had a little bit of...
We haven't done a weekend thing in a while, but we got time. We got time to burn.
I know. We're under that hour mark where we've normally been hitting it. What'd you do for the holiday weekend?
I don't know. I don't remember. I'm sure we did something. That was the Cirque de Italia was
yesterday.
The weekend before.
And
yesterday we hung out around the house, and we just kind of did like odd jobs around the house while the kids played.
You did odd jobs. 007?
Sunday was church. Always. Oh, well, what do we do after that? You talk and I'll figure it out.
We went up to our cabin and getting it ready for the summer rush of stuff, and I rented a skid steer and completely wrecked our grass, which is what I was telling you about beforehand, why I'm going up there tomorrow, because where I drove killed everything. That now we're putting in a path for exactly where I drove down to the water, because we were adding 14 yards of sand to the beach. And
that's quite a bit.
Yeah, it was the full truckload. Took me, okay, but here's the difference. I don't know if you remember this. In the fall, we got 14 yards. I wheelbarrowed that thing by myself, and it took me 40 hours.
Mm-hmm.
I rented the skid steer. I got it done in 4 hours. So a tenth of the time.
But then you added on more work for killing your grass.
Right. Because now I'm having to go up there tomorrow because I got to make this path. It's going to look cool as hell. But yes, I added a bunch of shit. Like Cindy's like, well, I wasn't expecting that you were going to, because the problem is the lot is very narrow. So you have the original cabin that is right on the property line on one side. Well, then they built a brand new cabin in 2019, and it's on the other side of that, and there's a gap of like 6 feet in between the two cabins. Well, you've been there. So I had to drive between the two cabins, and that's going over the patio, and I broke all the patio thing, like blocks and everything. I even put wood over it to try to make it so, but you have a fucking skid steer. That thing just destroyed it. So I was like, pissed at myself. And then this is what I do when I go to sleep. My brain still goes, and I'm like, I know what we'll do. We'll do a path that's going to cost me another $500-$600 and about like 20 more hours of work, but whatever. So it's going to look good. The idea of it is going to actually turn out nice. So that basically we had a working weekend. The summer rush is about to start. We got a lot of bookings coming up. And so we just wanted to get everything kind of ready for that. So we had some guests that were in there for a month. They kind of just not destroyed things, but they did, they wear and tear of being in a place for a month. So there's a lot of things to fix up. So did you remember what you did this weekend, Lowry?
I was listening to you. I wasn't thinking about what I did. Do I look like a dick? Sorry. And even though Bill from Woodbury is saying that he wouldn't strip lock somebody, pretty sure that you waist locked me when we went over.
He's like, I won't strip lock, but I will waist lock people.
Yeah, you were playing your Eldrazi deck when we went over your house right before COVID.
Oh,
and
the first time we met Bill,
yeah. And then you Crucible Worlds, you got Wasteland, and you killed my Renee deck.
Oh,
and then Adam's Wolf deck went off.
Yeah, that was one of my of 3 wins that deck
I mean,
had.
he whooped us the whole time. He's like, welcome, here's beer, pizza, too kind, and then he just destroyed us in games.
Well, wasn't that
Wand of Bones?
Yeah, I was about to say, wasn't that what he played? And then so I couldn't play wolves the way I wanted to because I couldn't have more creatures than everybody else. And yeah, that was
right. That was a memorable one. We went to the playground. We tried to be outside as much as we could, other than the rain and stuff like that.
Storms and stuff.
We went to. There's a really cool, like, big playground. It's like Highland Park.
Oh yeah, with HYLAND.
Yeah,
Highland.
It has like the nets, and it's huge. It's like 2-3 stories of just like crawling up into tubes, and you hope your kid isn't mad at you, because there's no way I'd get in there.
Crying at the top of it. Just go down the slide.
No. So yeah, that was really fun. We let him play as long as we could there. Golly, I can't remember Saturday at all.
You were that
hammered.
hammered.
I mowed the lawn and the kids went fishing with the grandparents.
Oh, nice.
So that's why I can't remember it, because I got a 30-year-old lawnmower. And it just leaks gas, like the fumes of gas as I'm pushing it.
I totally just picture.
I'm very certain I'm high after that.
I was gonna say, I totally picture you with one of the blade lawnmowers, like. Brrr. No, I know you don't.
Oh, like a push mower?
Yeah, the push.
No.
Do you know I tried to do that rental property that you and I flipped in? Which property was it? I think it was the one that wasn't in the ghetto. The other one that I actually would sleep in, on Geranium, on the east side. I bought one because I was like, oh, the lawn isn't that big, so I don't need to go get a damn lawnmower. Every little twig, those little blades just get stuck, and it's like, this is a bunch of bullshit.
Was it an electric one, or it was a push one?
It was a metal push one, and you
basically can't wait as long as you normally would either.
Right, yes.
You
if
can't
it's longer than a half an inch, you're screwed.
Right. That is work. Go to football, like at college football, and then you're just like pass blocking the whole way. It's a great way to gain muscle and stuff like that. But
yeah, that was the
first.
It
is not for me.
And last time I ever bought one of those, I was like, well, this was really pointless. Like, unless
I think there's electric ones out there now.
Is there? I feel like you can only use those if you're on like a golf course, like on the greens. Like that's the only place that those things would actually work, because anything that gets in them is bad. Okay. Yeah, I don't think there's anything else. So let's get to tags.
We're super uninteresting. Just play with the kids, do some stuff. I don't know if there's a circus in town anymore in Minnesota, but
it's moving around the cities. So
yeah. So Cirque Italia is something that we did 2 weekends ago, and that was a lot of fun. It's like low key Cirque de LA.
Cindy said it was hot as balls in there, though.
It was.
Yeah.
It was pretty hot. So that was, but it's small, so you're close.
Yeah.
And that was fun because we got to see Zeke and Cindy, and then our other cousin Johanna and their family showed up. Got to hang out with Mark a little bit and their kids. So it was fun. It was really cool, enjoyable.
Yeah.
But you're right, it was hot. But if you get a chance and you're in Minnesota, check it out. It was a lot of fun.
Yeah.
Just bring one of those little like Misty fans.
Spray yourself
that you can get at Valley Fair,
or drink enough that you don't care. No, I'm just kidding. Well, I will say one more thing. The cool thing about this weekend is while we were doing work on stuff, one of the big reasons why we got the cabin was, I want the boys to grow up and be like, oh, this is the cabin, blah, 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 blah. Dude, on those nice days, They just took the little paddle boat out and the kayaks and the canoes and just were out on the lake. The lake isn't that deep either. So we weren't really worried, but they had their life jackets on and everything. But they went around like meeting other kids at other, the neighbor's house on the paddle boat. And so that was the coolest thing. Like the Cindy was like, this is why we got the cabin. Like this is why we sold our stuff in Florida and bought everything here. So, so that was cool. That was, we had a good time up there. Again, I'm going up there tomorrow to kind of finish things off. And yeah, so anyways, all right. So you guys can support the Commander Smiths. I'm going to give, since we haven't had a patron and a new patron in a while, I'm going to give him another one. Thomas Sayers. You can be like Thomas Sayers.
Welcome to a meat forest.
By becoming a
Sounds
patron.
like a fairy tale of a meat forest.
Stepped on that. By becoming a patron, $1 or more gets you in the Discord. $5 or more gets you proxies each month if you so choose. You can get foil proxies like this. Is the prize for the next 3 weeks for Stump the Smith Savant. The Anointed Procession helped done by my youngest, Zeke. So that is the way you guys can support us. There's 4 ways you can support us. So that is one. The other way is, the other thing about being a patron is you also can come to SmithCon if you so choose. If you're in the area, or like a few people do, fly in or drive in. And that is less than a month away. So we're going to be doing that. And it's just Commander, some other fun stuff we do. It's a good time. So that's another reason to become a patron. But then some other ways you can financially support us is by buying us shots on the podcast. Every $15 is a Malort shot, up to 3 shots, unless it's one of those nights. I think that could have happened last week. I bet you we could have been conned into a 4th one. I'm glad we didn't, because the next day I was like, this sucks. But if you want to see what it's like to have the worst shot in the world, that's just what we do. So you can, it is the worst shot. I mean, you had concrete mixer, and that's not as bad as this was, right?
Right. I haven't done 3 cement mixers or concrete mixers.
I haven't. Yeah,
I don't know if I would do that. Like, it made my tummy icky. I was like, ugh, I don't like that.
Made my tummy icky.
But Malort doesn't do that. It's all like that bitter, that extreme bitter in your mouth and your palate and your tongue and stuff like that. To whereas like,
yep,
it's not good.
And thank you, Cole. Yes, everyone that is watching, please make sure to give us a thumbs up as you're watching, and we'll say it multiple times. It helps us out a bit. Okay, so that is the second way to support the Commander Smiths. The other way is just watch our stuff on YouTube. Like Cole just said, now if you're watching it and give it a thumbs up, that helps us spread the word around of the Commander Smiths. Watch all our other content. I am going to be doing a Card Kingdom buy list order opening. Ooh. It's not going to be live because I'm probably going to record it after this because, like I said, I'm going to be gone. So, but I do want to get that video out this week. This video is going to be interesting because the one issue with Card Kingdom is, yes, you can send your cards in. Both Lowry and I send in, thousands of dollars of cards every year. And the hard part is their prices are typically, not always, typically higher than what the market value is. That's how they make their money. Is they go a little bit higher, and it's very easy, and they do a very good job of shipping and all that stuff. The hard part is finding a way, if you're speccing, to get your money back, like even keel. So these cards in particular in this package, this is about $1,500 worth of cards that I found that were pretty even money-wise. And just a spoiler, the fetches that I was talking about earlier, those are what's in here because they were very even with the pricing, the old fetches, the MH2 ones. So those are in there. There's some Lord of the Rings stuff. So that'll be coming out. We have tons of other videos. You went fucking crazy with Curated over the last 2 weeks. Curated's been going like one every
2
other
more decks
day.
to do.
Yeah. So Curated's also a thing that you do. Do you know, you want to name any of them? That was a unique one that you wanted to talk about?
I forgot.
Okay.
I forgot them all. oh, no. You know what? Dr. Madison Lee, those were expensive ones. I did Transmute Artifact, which is like a $450 card. But it's basically fabricate.
Wait, did you have the original one you were showing too?
Artifact. Yeah.
Oh, good for you.
Good
Acceptable
for you.
button pushing. But it's sacrifice an artifact and go find one and put it into play, but you got to pay like the mana difference between whatever the cost is, whatever you sacrificed and went and got. So it's not as good as Fabricate, but Fabricate is banned for a reason. And then also there's copy artifacts. That's a great enchantment that it copies any artifact in play for a blue and a colorless. And then the other one is probably I mean, even though there's only been 2-3 sets so far this year, but the Gadgeteer. I love that card.
Which one's the Gadgeteer?
I wish I remember the whole name, but basically, whenever you cast an artifact spell, you create a clue. Excuse me. Yep, clue token, and then activated abilities of artifacts cost 1 less. So your clues only cost 1 to sack and draw a card.
Right.
And then, but also it drops your equipment costs by 1, or it basically creates infinite mana with your monoliths and stuff like that, because it costs, instead of 3 for Basalt Monolith to untap, it's 2, and so it creates infinite mana. It's a really, really cool card from Murders of Markov Manor. Did I say that right? Probably.
Murders at Markov
But it's a really good one. So those were the latest 3 from the Dr. Madison Lee deck. And then
so biggest thing with curateds is make sure you guys give those a like and watch them all the way through. Those are only a minute. They're shorts. You can find them on YouTube. You can find them on TikTok or Instagram. So we're in all 3 places. But make sure you follow us at least on YouTube. You can follow us on all the other places too. That would help us out a lot. And the big thing is watching the videos that we do. Now that we're about to have the new Modern Horizons 3 set come out, we got the ramps of all the other videos that come in. So we're going to have the budget upgrades. We're going to have we have budget upgrades, the unlimited upgrades. We have the whatever. There's a bunch of videos that we will have coming up with those, and then deck buildings. We haven't done a deck building for 2 weeks ago you did a deck build. I haven't done one for a while. Probably won't until after SmithCon, just because there's a lot of
I'll
prep.
get one in between SmithCon and set release. Okay. I'm going to be aiming to do that. And I do want to say, Joel, if you like Blink 182 and you're in the Discord, ask for my high school music video and I'll post it there again.
Oh my God.
Blink 182.
I had never seen it until you posted it. Was that last year? It was so
It might have been 2 years ago at this point.
It was so terrible. It's so bad. It's awesome. Like you should do that anyways. I think you should do that tomorrow. But yeah, so that's a big thing. Become a patron, because then just $1 gets you in there, and you can have chats with everybody and interact with us, because we're not on Twitter anymore, or X or whatever, because we're there. Yeah. We just don't do anything with it because it really just isn't doing anything. So I already mentioned all the other stuff, so I think that's it for our tags and everything. All the support that you guys can do, the thumbs up, the anything, free stuff, money wise, it all helps us out in the long run. So all right, let's get to our new round. It is round 30. All right, let me get to round 30 for Stump. Right.
I gotta say the Dragon Milk was really not good.
Really?
Like it's been years since I've had it, because that was my first bourbon barrel aged stout, and going back to it is not my favorite. So it's ruined memories at this point.
I'm about to have the pancake one, since we're in Stump the Smith Savant. All right, here we go. There it is. It's time for everyone's favorite game show.
I know what it is. I just don't know the name.
Cole just said, I don't even remember my submission. Oh, you know what? There was one other thing I forgot to tag, is we do have the Commander Smith store at commandersmith.com. That's where you can find the mugs, T-shirts, like Lowry's wearing his T-shirts, the metal tokens, and our play mat. So that is the other spot as well. So I knew there was 4. I only mentioned 3. I also did not mention our poll, which if
we had a poll?
Yeah. Gosh, dang it. We're gonna jump over here really quick. Let me show you the poll before we get back to Stuff the Smith Savant.
I'm gonna have to push all the buttons. You want to tell Cole what he did choose for curated right now?
You mean Stump?
You just verbally tell him, yeah.
You said curated.
Yeah, whatever.
I did a poll last week. Which commander best represents Power 9 for generals, aka commanders? Cast your vote below. Oh, let me minimize this. You can see it.
Generals? What the fuck?
Well, because commanders, we had commander, which command, whatever. You know what I'm saying. Cast your vote below. Okay, so I had. This is actually the most even out of all of this I've ever had. So we had Thrasios, Edgar Markov, the Dragon, and Atraxa. Look how close all these are. Dragon was the least with 16%, but Thrasios 28%, Edgar 30%, and Atraxa at 26%. So that's a pretty good. That's one of the better polls that we've had. All like 3 options really close. So just wanted to point that one out there. All right, let's get back to our Stump Dismiss Savant. And I probably hit the button again just because I want to. Just for chapter wise, and I will hit the one where you don't say that.
It's time for everyone's favorite game show, Stump the Smith Savant.
Just an FYI, RoboCop said curated MTG was expensive lately.
It was. It was. Every once in a while, I like showing off the expensive cards that I have.
Good for you.
Every once in a while. It's not often that it works out. But I'm glad that I could hopefully introduce new cards to people.
All right, if you guys don't know how this game works, I'm going to read the flavor text of a card, and Lowry is going to try to guess the card by asking yes or no questions. Every yes will hear this.
Hello, boobies.
Every no will hear this.
Wrong, 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 wrong.
He will get up to 5 wrong guesses before he's considered stumped. He gets up to 3 clues. If he can get everything about the card but can't get what the card name is, he will get the initials of the card. If he has 1 clue left over, he'll get a bonus clue, which should help him guess what the card is. It should be a extra bonus clue there. Card, I already mentioned, has to be in 10,000 EDH Rec decks. You can submit your suggestions to me, either if you're a part of the Discord, just by direct messaging me, or by shooting us an email, commandersmiths@gmail.com. As I mentioned before, we have a foil. This is week 1. So we are on round 30, week 1. Every 3 weeks, we add a card to the ante. The first 3 weeks is a foil proxy of a current proxy that I made. So it's Anointed Procession in my youngest art. He did the kitties and the dog and the ball. It's in the middle. And then I had designed all the other stuff there. So that
They kind of look like Pop-Tarts, but that's... with
kitties,
a face.
The kitties?
Yeah.
Yeah. Or the dogs. You're talking about these guys up here?
Whatever is in the middle.
Yeah, the dogs. Okay, the kitties.
Not saying that I don't know what your son's drawing, but...
Well, the thing is I just told him,
it's supposed to be the pugs or whatever.
I need you to make me 2 dogs and 2 cats. And then he just went off from there, and that's what he did. And then there's a video on how we all did this.
Right, I watched that totally. Totally.
Just like
we support each other.
Just like I watch your curated MTGs,
right.
And I'm asking you about your
right.
Even though they're short as hell. Okay, so let's see. Every 3 weeks we add a new card to the ante. This week, Cole is our stumper. Is there anything else? Oh, I've eliminated the chat, so chat can play along. And here we go. No Malician. Is that what you say? That Malician? Malician?
Maletian? Yeah, I know what you're talking about, though.
Can you hit the button, though?
Yeah.
Why?
I hate hitting the button when I can't say it
either.
Well.
Yeah.
Maletian?
Maletian?
Yeah.
Maletian? Had ever laid eyes on an angel, but when protective halo flooded the multiverse, they knew a divine blessing was at hand. Let me try that again. No Maletian had ever laid eyes on an angel, but when protective halo flooded the multiverse, they knew a divine blessing was at hand.
All right. I'm gonna say that it's Miletian, and so this,
Miletian?
or maybe I don't know, but I'm kind of half-assed there. I think this is the card specifically is. This is not a statement. No buttons towards this, but to me, this is likely being based in Theros. Never laid eyes on an angel. I don't think they have any angels there. But when Protective Halo flooded the multiverse, which I don't really know what that means.
Malation.
Malation.
Yep.
That's what I said. That's what we said, right?
Yeah.
That's what we said.
I mean, I probably said it like 17 different times, but
right,
one of them
ways.
was right.
Right. That's the great thing. Flooded the multiverse. So the multiverse is included here. They knew a divine blessing. No. What?
Marvel?
Stop. They knew a divine blessing was at hand. So the multiverse was included. More than likely, this is like March of the Machines and or Aftermath. And so that would be my guess. Is this March of the Machines and or Aftermath?
Hello, boobies.
Look at you. Look at you narrowing stuff down. Oh, you even
And
gave me
likely-
a wink. I like that. I just
And
got
likely,
a boner.
again, Theros based. So I'd have to get my headspace in there. But let's go with first clue, please.
All right. The art features a rush of soldiers, half with heads down in the shadows, half in the light ready for battle. The art features a rush of soldiers, half with their heads down in the shadows, half in the light ready for battle. And while you're thinking, I will read a joke. Is a hippopotamus or just a really cool hippopotamus?
Great job.
Mitch Hedberg.
I'm
glad I
great
wrote
one,
it down
sure.
for our notes when we were drunk last between that 1 a.m. because I would have totally forgot that we were doing that whole bit, but I had a little star. Do Mitch Hedberg jokes.
Okay. Oh, that's tough. Okay, so it's basically a phalanx. I'll hit it.
You can't even read.
And that either tells me it feels like it might be some type of non. Oh, okay. So it's not Assemble the Legion, which would make sense, but it feels like it's a non-permanent spell, like creating tokens potentially, or it's a creature. Is this a non-permanent spell?
Hello, boobies.
Is this red and or white?
Hello, boobies.
All these boobies going on here.
No. But honestly, I have no idea. I'm not even close. I know it's red and or white, a permanent spell. It's based out of Theros, likely. And I'm not going to ask you that question, but we know that it's March of the Machines and or Aftermath. I'll take a second clue, please.
The text features target protection and saves your creatures from damage from the two color sources that deal the most damage.
Know what it is? Instant.
Hello, boobies.
Cole said, the one time in my life I don't like boobies.
You lie. You like it too. Right now. It is one white.
Hello, boobies.
Can I get the second clue, please, again?
The text features target protection and saves your creatures from damage from the two color sources that deal the most damage.
Shit. We really like this card. It's uncommon. I know that.
Hello, boobies.
This is March of the Machines. This is March of the
Hello,
Machines.
boobies.
What is it?
Hey,
I have this index.
Joel has it. He got the initials in there. He knows what
Nice
it
job.
is. And RoboCop was right behind.
It gives. I'm gonna break this down a little bit, but it gives yourself hexproof
Hello, boobies.
and creatures you control have hexproof.
Hello,
There's
boobies.
more to that.
And then damage,
There's more to that.
but I don't want there to be. I'm gonna move on.
Okay. all
The
right.
two colors you're talking about are red and black.
Hello, boobies.
And what does that do? What is it doing there? I mean, I guess I said it in
It's
there.
preventing damage.
Okay. Yeah.
Hello, boobies.
There's one more thing. Because you got creatures, you got you. It's not fully, I mean, it's true, but there's more to that.
But do I have the bottom part kind of figured out?
Yep, you just need this little.
Planeswalkers.
Hello, boobies.
Keep going. That doesn't fill it up all the way because I mean it's right. It's not in the.
So yourself, creatures, planeswalkers. That's stupid. All right.
You're just wording it weird. Is what I'm. Never mind. Moving my mic away. Oh, while you're thinking, let me pull up another Mitch Hedberg joke. Wearing a turtleneck is like being strangled by a really weak guy all day. Wearing a backpack and a turtleneck is like a weak midget trying to bring you down. Mitch Hedberg.
Oh, I hope we don't get a cease and
I
desist.
know, because
of
it said
that.
midget.
Yeah.
Vertically challenged guy. Or gal.
All right. So are we saying hexproof to you and permanents you control?
Hello,
There it
boobies.
is. There it is.
Stupid.
Yeah, that's it's like you were it was true statements. Every single one you were saying. I was like, yep, you're right. Keep going.
Is there anything else I need?
Nope, you got it. All right. So the initials are SOS.
Shit.
You don't
on a
have-
stick.
You don't have you have a clue left over, so
I get a special clue.
but only when you need it. Because let me write it.
SOS. The soldiers is probably in there. Of, on,
Well,
middle.
I mean, you don't have any wrong guesses, so I can let you guess, but the first word is a type of drink that's green that we drank in high school, and I don't even think they sell it anymore. But it had a lot of fucking sugar in it, more than I was buying this for 25 cents a can at my school, and I loved it. But it starts with an S. The other S is basically being saved. Not basically. Another word for being saved. I have both of these clues kind of in there.
A green drink. Wait. Was it booze?
No. It's a pop. It's a pop.
Oh, okay. Middle word of?
Hello, boobies.
Good job.
Could be on. Okay, so surge
There it is.
Hello, boobies.
God, I used to drink.
of
Yes. Well, I'm not gonna do hello. It's still
Well,
around. Oh, Joel said the surge cans are still around in South Dakota. Dude, I used to get those.
They just got Surge. They're
Yeah.
only 20 years behind. 30 years behind.
30, yeah, I was gonna say.
I remember the Surge commercials where it was like, quench your thirst. Are you tired of Cottonmouth? I didn't know what Cottonmouth
Yeah.
was. I was like, what is that? And then you learn like, oh, it comes from smoking. And then you learn, oh, it's from smoking pot. That's actually what it was. That's how young I was and naive at that point.
Yeah, I used to put, and I think Surge, I used to, in college, drink a 12-pack a night, like studying for differential equations or whatever. Yeah.
What?
Yeah, I was drinking a lot of Surge because I was trying to stay awake. You do all-nighters.
Yeah, this cherry Dr. Pepper.
Surge. It's the best.
I don't know if Surge was an
Oh, wait,
option
no,
for
that's
me.
it.
You're
No, wait. Joe, and I wasn't sure if that was right. Surge is what I had in high school. College was Vault. Vault is what I switched to, but they're both green drinks.
Okay, that makes a ton of sense. I
Yeah.
was like, I didn't know that. I don't remember Surge being an option.
Surge was
in
25 cents
college.
in high school. College, it changed over to Vault. That's totally what it was. Yep.
Yeah, and both of them had like caffeine
Green.
amounts of cups of coffee, like 2.5.
Yeah. It was insane. Fucking fantastic. So, okay. Surge
Do I
of-
get it again? Did you write it down?
What?
Did you write down the extra clue?
I gave you the extra clue.
Yeah, but I don't remember things. It's called brain damage.
The other S is like being saved.
Um,
And think of like what the text is.
I think I'm there. Oh,
I mean, what this is right here. Right there.
yeah, there's an angel
Being
being
saved.
involved. This is it. Salvation?
There it is.
Hello, boobies.
There we
Surge
go.
of
Surge of salvation.
Sorry,
Golly.
Cole.
I wish it wasn't a struggle for me like that, but
See how it's
I don't
like.
know if I like that first clue. What do you mean?
Look at
What's the heads down? Where's that?
look at all these guys right here. Their heads are all down. Look at their heads down in the dark, except for this one guy.
What's the stuff up in the clouds?
This is what
That's
I'm
like
saying.
the first row, right?
No, look at. So listen to the first clue. The art features a rush. A rush is Surge, by the way. I was giving you a clue there. A rush of soldiers, half with their heads down in the shadows. All their heads are down except for this one guy. But I figured you'd get this.
All right.
And half in the light are ready for battle. He's ready for battle. He's ready for battle. They're all ready for battle that are in the light. That's all I could get you. I was trying to
No,
help
you're good. You're good. I only remember.
seeing this half right
Yeah,
here,
yeah,
the dark.
yeah, that half.
Yeah, this is very faded, but I was like, oh, okay, maybe.
Nice job. Nice try, Cole. But
Oh.
you can't beat me.
Oh, talking shit.
Yeah, I'm one of those guys that talk shit after the game.
Especially when you know the person, you're like, yeah, I got you, fucker. You can't beat me.
Yeah, it's fine. You did a great job.
All
It's
right.
swell.
Remember, you guys, you can send your suggestions in to me directly or to our email, commandersmiths@gmail.com. Cole, if you want to send us, or, when I see you next time, just have some cool stuff, because you've already given us some autograph things. We like using cards that you guys send us, because Lowry puts them in actual decks. Playground 3 p.m. after school. Cole is ready to fight Lowry.
Dude, I cannot get out there in time. You're an hour away from me. Can we
Smith-
meet in the mill somewhere
How
at
about
4?
at SmithCon? Just
SmithCon, 3:00. We'll be full of pizza and beer at that point, and you'll have had a shot of Malort, and you will be feeling ill.
Yeah,
and
that's
I will
what
have
it
the
has
upper
to.
hand there as well.
Yeah. Just don't get into a punching ribs contest like Lowry did with Tyson, where he broke his ribs.
So I apologize, Tyson, for cracking your ribs.
But he wanted it. I mean, you guys went back and forth.
No,
It was
it was stupid. I was upset, not at him, and I was just like, you punch me and I'll punch you one 1 inch. I had that. I just and cracked his ribs.
stupid.
Felt real bad. And once I found that I hurt him.
Pillow. Oh, wait, I like that. Pillow fight at SmithCon to decide it all. Renshai, that's perfect. That's the way to do it. Pillow fight at SmithCon. All right, guys, that should do it for this week. We will catch you guys next week.
Thanks for listening.
See ya.
Bye.
See ya.
I love boobs. I'm talking tatas. I
Well, we'll
love
tell you later.
boobs.
Yeah,
I'm
I'll tell you
That was
some
years ago.
Yeah.
love
At my
boobs.
house.
Thanks for the memories. I love boobs.
I'm gonna say the arrogant bastard is brutal. I do not like this one bit. I have gotten old and
Hey
complacent.
gang, the best way to support the Commander Smiths is make sure you slap that like button. And if you haven't done so already, subscribe to our channel. Also, check out our online store, commandersmiths.com, where we have metal tokens, mugs, t-shirts, playmats, and more.